What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are in the garage today because it's nasty outside and we can't fish this weekend. So I figured might as well come up with some kind of interesting video. So that's what we're here for, trying to help you guys catch more fish. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over all you need to catch fish inshore. That's rods and reel setups, lures, terminal tackle, what kind of line you should be using, all that good stuff we're gonna go over. Obviously there's gonna be some like, you can take this category and expand it so far, but I'm gonna go over like the basics, what will definitely catch you guys more fish. So y'all stay tuned, we'll see what we can get into. All right, so we're here in the boat. I guess first what I'll go over is rod and reel setups. You can get really carried away in this, but I think I have 3 in the boat. I'll go over everything I keep in the boat, but I think these 3 will get you guys on the fish, and it's all I think you really need. So first, hold on one second. Can't forget the broom. All right, I don't know where I was at. Okay, Penn Battle 2. This is a 3000. It's paired on a medium heavy, 7-foot fast action rod. This one in particular is HMG Inshore by Fenwick. Fantastic rod, fantastic reel for the money. I think this setup we run you $240 on the high end, maybe, which is fairly inexpensive, unfortunately, for a decent rod and reel combo. But you know, it's got 20-pound Power Pro Super Slick on it. It's probably my favorite line. It's what's on all of my reels except for one. I'll go over that one, I guess. I like this one throwing a little bit heavier baits, big topwater plugs, that kind of stuff. So I'll try to make this kind of snappy. That's my first setup. Number 2, this is probably what I use 90% of the time. It's a medium action, same HMG Inshore, all my stuff's the same. I like to be able to pass it off and have the same reel in my hand every time, just obviously different actions and different like poundage on line, that kind of stuff. So 2500 Penn Battle 2, 7-foot medium action rod. This is great throwing smaller top waters. I mean, you can see I've got a big top water on this one, so you can still throw big stuff on it. You know, that jig heads in the 1/4 ounce range, 16 or, you know, 1/4 ounce, 3/16, that kind of stuff. You can throw 3/8 on it, no problem. I think it gets a little too much for this rod, but that's got 15-pound Power Pro on it. Like I said, this is the one that I use most of the time. Great setup. This, I guess you probably don't really need one of these, but I like to keep this in the boat for if I'm specifically targeting trout. You know, they have that soft mouth. A medium action rod can be too much on their mouth sometimes. If it's a bigger trout, you don't want to lose it. I lost like a 9.5-pound trout by the boat the other day, and I'm gonna blame it on that medium heavy rod because trout was not what I was fishing for. But anyways, this is a 2000 Penn Battle 3 on a medium light Fenwick HMG. So what you end up getting with the medium light is a lot more bend in the rod. You know, it bends a lot farther down, you get a lot more play. That helps the trout not shake the lure out of his mouth as easily. It can still do it. They still have really soft mouths, but I tend to have better luck with a, you know, medium light action rod. This has got 10-pound Power Pro on it. Great little trout setup. I'll show you guys this one. This is not something that I think you need. Sorry, battery died. Where was I? Alright, so I guess this is the 1, 2, 3rd. This is the 4th that I like to keep in the boat. I don't throw bait casters a whole lot, but I like to have one, especially for dock fishing, and that's pretty much all I use this for. This is the Penn Fathom low profile. The reason I picked it is because it has a ton of drag. It's got 26 pounds of drag. I've got it paired with, I think this is 50-pound diamond. I like this when I'm trying to pull fish out of a dock that don't want to come out of a dock. I have gotten redfish out from underneath the dock that you would never believe you could have got out because of that setup. That's on a 7-foot heavy action rod, give you a ton of lifting power. Okay, so now that all the rod and reels are covered, I keep a couple of each one in the boat, except for the big one. I only got one of those, but I keep 2 medium lights, 2 medium heavies, 2 mediums, and that's about all you need. I guess we can go into tackle. I will talk about leader first. Obviously, I don't know where my spool leader is. I like to keep 10, 20, and 40 pound fluorocarbon leader in the boat. That kind of covers all of your bases pretty much. I like 10 pound if I'm fishing trout in super clear water. They respond a little better, I think. They don't, if they're line shy, sometimes they're not, but I like to keep it in the boat just in case. 20 pounds what I use most of the time. 40, I like a short piece for topwater plugs because it keeps the line from fouling the hooks as easy. And I also like that when I'm flipping around docks. It gives me all the pulling power I need to get those fish out of there now without breaking them off. All right, so other than that, we'll start to dive into my tackle. So I like to keep all different weights, hook sizes of jig heads. I've got a good friend of mine who makes these for me. Let's see if I can get y'all. His name's Paul. Y'all go check him out. Big Head Jig Heads. Awesome product. Great hooks. Great guy. I like to keep 1/2 ounce, 1/4 ounce, 3/8. I've got some lighter stuff in here too. An assortment of jig heads. Here's another. You know, those are 3/8. Great jig heads. You need to keep a little bit of every hook size, every jig head weight, that kind of stuff. You need to have plenty of those in the boat. So that's kind of the boring stuff, but I'm sure y'all know keep jig heads in your boat. But you know, if they're in here, might as well go over them. Another thing that I like to keep in the boat all the time. These are the 2 shrimp imitations that I use most of the time. DOA red flake, clear red flake, great trout lure. Redfish will bite it, everything will bite it, flounder will bite it, whatever. I like that for trout. I also like to keep a chartreuse shrimp profile in the boat. Sometimes they'll bite this, they won't bite this. Sometimes they'll bite this, they won't bite this. Trout are kind of funny like that. Those are pretty much the only shrimp profiles I keep in the boat. I've got a couple of these voodoo shrimps. I'm not too sold on them yet, but we'll see. They just have a little rattle in them, which is kind of cool. Yeah, so that's all my shrimp. So another thing that I am big on, topwater plugs. It's a great way to power fish. It's a great search bait. It just finds fish for you. Even if the fish short strike it, they at least have revealed themselves to you. So now you know where they're at. There's so many times redfish is struck on a topwater plug. Just pitch a little paddle tail or a shrimp back to them and then they will eat it, even if they won't commit to this. This is one of my favorite colors. This is a skitterwalk. I like skitterwalks. I like mirror lures, the top dog, she dog, all those. This is the bigger skitterwalk. It's probably what I throw most of the time. This is a great color. I also keep this chartreuse. This one's kind of beat up. That one has seen some fish, man. I also keep the chartreuse one in there. Bone, come on, bone. Gotta have bone colored one in there. Yeah. So that pretty much is all the topwater plugs I like to keep in the boat. But those ones that I showed you will get bit. As you can see, the orange one and this one both have that gold flash. I feel like the fish really key in on that, because there are days that I throw those 2 colors, somebody else might be throwing something else. They might not get bit. And I've seen fish. Actually, I was fishing with a guy the other day. I was throwing the chartreuse, he was throwing the gold and orange. He probably outfished me 5 or 6 redfish to 1. You know, so he'd catch 5 or 6 to my 1. It ended up he probably caught 10, I caught 2. So some people say color doesn't matter. I think color matters. But they might want that color one day, they might want the other color the next day. Next time we went out, they wanted that chartreuse one and they wouldn't touch this one. So who knows? It's a fish, you'll never figure them out. All right, so another couple of things I like to keep in the boat are a couple flavors of Procure. I don't think it really matters what flavor you use, but I like to keep a couple things of that in the boat. It helps. It definitely helps. And if you can just put a little something on your lure and it helps you catch more fish, why would you not do it? So don't spill it on your boat because it is very hard to get off. Just a pro tip. All right, soft plastics. As you can see, my hard bait selection's not that phenomenal, but actually, so here, we'll go over this one too. I like to always keep a couple of Spanish candy, you know, metal type jigs. Always keep a couple of those in the boat, and I also always keep a couple of gold spoons in the boat. That's also a great search bait, but other than that, that's about all that's in that box. So we'll go over soft plastics now. So I've got all different kinds, but I'll just go over the ones that I use most of the time. As I've said in all my videos, I think a 4-inch pearl diesel minnow is probably my favorite bait on the entire earth. It works almost all the time. Sometimes they don't want the white profile, but it seems to get bit really consistently. That's my confidence bait. I love that bait. It always catches fish. I also keep some 5-inch ones in there. I've caught a lot of really small trout on a big paddle tail. Don't let lure size scare you. The pearl, I keep a few packs of pearl in the boat at all times. Also a great color is any kind of dark purple, black purple mix, anything like that. It shows up in all different water colors and like all depths of the water. It's one of the only colors that does that. So purple is a phenomenal color to have in your boat. I always keep some 3-inch minnows in the boat. This is the Houdini color. Phenomenal color. If they're being a little picky or the bait's smaller, that's kind of when I'll throw that. Redfish toad in the 4-inch diesel minnow. Also a really go-to bait for me. Along with, I don't know how good y'all can actually see this, but that's pinfish. Sometimes the fish really key in on this pinfish color. Seems to work really good. So that's all of the paddle tails. I also keep some like Ned rig stuff. I don't fish it a lot, but if the fish are being finicky, I like to have it. Trout tricks, keep a different, what color is this? This is fried chicken. I like it because it's got the chartreuse tail. Sometimes trout being finicky, that's great. Along with trick shots. I like this purple and pink color. Again, finicky fish, they don't want to bite a big profile. You just sit this on the bottom and let it sit there. Jig it just a little bit, they'll eat it. Great color. So other than that, I don't keep a whole lot else in the boat. That's kind of my go-to colors, my go-to lures. It's taken me a long time to narrow this down. A lot of trial and error, you know, figuring out what works and not info in this video. I really hope it helps you guys catch some fish. I hate that we couldn't do a lot of fishing or do any fishing this week. Probably get back to it next week, maybe in the next couple of days. I'm gonna try to keep putting videos out for you guys if you like them. If you like videos like this, let me know. Hope it helps you guys out. But other than that, I think that's about all we can go over today. So I'm hoping for some better weather in the next week or so. This nasty wet fog kind of got me in the fishing slumps, but it looks like next week's gonna be a lot nicer. Thank you guys for watching. I hope y'all got some good info from this video. Like I said, if you like this video, please let me know. I can make more videos like this. I can go over. I've got some more stuff in the boat that I had to keep secret, but you know, I don't mind sharing that stuff with you guys either, but I kind of wanted to keep this video, you know, back to the basics. If you guys put the lures that I showed you in your boat, they will work. So other than that, not much more I go over. I keep my boat pretty simple. I think simplicity is key when it comes to fishing. The key to it, get the bait in the water and keep it there. Fish, lots of casts. The more you cast, the more likelihood you've got to catch fish. So that's kind of my mentality when it comes to lure selection. I like to cover water. If I find fish, I'll slow down, but I'm power fishing most of the time. So if y'all like this video, let me know. Y'all stay tuned for the next video. Hopefully the next one we'll catch some fish and not just talk about fishing. So cheers. Y'all have a good weekend.